Steph, after a season like that and a game like that, what did you feel was important to say to your team right after it ended?
Just how proud I am of them. You know, they have been an absolute joy to coach. It's an incredible group of women, an incredibly connected group. They're a great example to everybody what it means to just put one foot in front of the other, to persevere, to welcome people into the fold, to not give in to circumstance, to lead with grace and dignity, to sacrifice for a greater good and a common good. I'm so thankful to coach these women. And I'm just thankful for this experience with them.
Steph, it was obviously a really scary situation with Kelsey. Is there any update on what happened with her and what exactly the injury was? And how did you all rally together to just stay mentally in the game after she went out?
She's got a lot of lower body cramping. She's currently at the hospital right now getting fluids. And unfortunately, we have a lot of experience in rallying around teammates. And, you know, this group is all heart, man. Like, it's just really hard to put into words. They're just special.
Aliyah, how will you remember this group and this special run that you had all season?
Yeah, I mean, this has been my best year. Seriously, I think with the people that we had in the locker room, the amount of fun that I had on the court, off the court, in the locker room, you know, we just talked about how special this group was and how we're always going to be connected. And honestly, that's how I feel like these women became my sisters so quickly, and it was honestly just some of the best basketball I've had.
Yeah, obviously you talked a lot about the Fever taking a chance on you when you signed in August. Just what has these past couple months meant to you?
Just from the moment getting picked up to now, I know this was a special group. Like I said, they've been through a lot. The ones who've been here from start to finish, they've had a lot of changes throughout the season. And for us to continue to fight, we never back down. Every game, Coach pulled out the best in us. She kept pushing us, the whole coaching staff, everybody just, we have more. Coach kept telling us, we have more to give, we have more to give. So I'm super proud just to be a part of this group. We came a long way. We beat the odds. We weren't even supposed to be here. And for us to be here, we finished out strong. It wasn't the outcome we wanted, but we still got to hold our heads high.
Steph, rosters change from year to year. You'll never have the same group. What's that feeling when you walk out of here knowing this is something you'll be talking about for years?
I think the first word that comes to mind is just gratitude. I mean, I've experienced some special teams in this league, in this organization, but collectively, this group has been at the top. So I'm extremely grateful for every single one of them. We know this is going to be an off-season full of change in the league. But what these women accomplished together, I mean, it's a special story. It's a special story, and I hope one day it's told. But I'm so proud and so grateful.
Steph, we talked about resiliency with this team all season long, but tonight it felt like that wasn't a strong enough word. Have you been a part of a game like that and just it felt like everyone laid it all out there?
I feel like there's so many games that we've had this year where that's happened. You know, where you lay it on the line. And, you know, I appreciate what O said, because as coaches, we talk about this all the time. Like, this group continued to allow us as coaches to push them further, harder, to move the bar, to raise the bar. Oftentimes in sport, there's some resistance to that. And there isn't with this group. There wasn't with this group. And because of that, you know, and because of their connectedness, they're able to accomplish things that some of y'all didn't think that they're capable of accomplishing. But nobody in our locker room had any doubt. And in our huddles, and we kept talking about it, that we're ready for these moments. And, you know, Vegas in particular in that overtime hit a lot of tough shots. And that had to be the goal, make them hit tough shots, and they did.
Coach, you sort of addressed this in that last point, but did you feel like you did reach a point in that overtime where there was no more left to give, where you've gotten everything you could out of this group?
No. I just felt like there was a point in that overtime where they hit, I mean, think about some of those threes that they hit over outstretched hands. I mean, especially Chelsea Gray hit a couple, Dana hit one. No, I thought we continued to give. I think they made really tough plays, championship plays, and that was it.
It's always an emotional moment when you see a teammate go down. You actually helped Kelsey off the floor. You had just had your 5th foul, I believe. What was that sequence or couple minutes like for you, and how did you snap back into the game after that?
Yeah, honestly, I felt like I got just kind of emotional seeing her down there, but for me, just trying to keep her calm, getting her slow breaths, and once she walked off the court, it was time to just focus on rallying around her and making sure that I'm focused for when it was my time to go back in.
Steph talked about how the players rallied around. How about how Steph and the coaches figured it out and helped contribute to your best season ever?
Yeah, I feel like this season has been all about figuring it out. No matter what happens, what comes around the corner, figuring out the entire staff. I mean, seriously, they just did a tremendous job with adjustments the entire season. No matter what, someone went down, we needed a different action. Like, they were quick on their feet, and that's how they've been the entire season. And so tonight, when Kelsey goes down, no surprise. But I think it also goes to show our entire motto has been next woman up. And be ready, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I feel like that's exactly what happened tonight. And everyone was just ready when their name was called.
Aliyah, watching overtime from the bench with all of the injured players that you guys have had all season, what was your message or to the team, or what was that experience like for you to watch that group close out the season for you?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, obviously, not being on the court, but when there's nothing you can do about that, you just pour into other people. High communication, making sure the bench is full of energy, and that's really what we did. And as it got closer down, it's about, listen, we finished this game out strong. Every single game that we've entered and every single game we've played, it's about continuing to play and finishing out strong, and that's exactly what we did. So I'm proud of us.
Steph, back here. This season in particular, you mentioned how it's a story that you wanted to be told. What did this team do that has changed the landscape, arguably, in basketball in Indiana?
Number one, they kept getting back up. Collectively. And I think that oftentimes in sport we see one that might, two that might. They kept getting back up collectively. There's no circumstance that we went through on or off the floor. Because we had some off the floor stuff too. That they blinked, that they held their heads down, that they didn't just stand tall and face head on. And it's you don't see a lot of that nowadays. I know I sound really old right now, but you just don't. And they continued to pour into one another. They continued to pour into us as coaches. They continued to allow us to push them on days and moments when they could have very easily just given up. They loved on us. They loved on one another. And it makes it really special when it sucks that it's over.
Aliyah, last year, first round. This year, second round, elimination game, overtime.
Dang, you know what's next, right? Keep it going. Next year, finish it. All right, go ahead.
I'd love to know if that's where your mind's at, what you're taking away from, of course, defeat isn't the best, but what are you taking away from the growth you've seen this year? You have to adjust to different point guards, adopt a defensive first sort of mindset. How are you assessing your growth year over year, and what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I'm super proud of myself. Just like you said, adjusting and adapting. And for me, like, a championship's always on my mind. I think no matter what happens, like, obviously you hate losing, but you kind of started with your question with just the progression that it's been. And so for me, obviously, that's my mindset. We got a taste of it, Game 5, semifinals, and now we want the real thing. And that's honestly going to be our mindset coming in for next year. And I'm super excited going into this offseason. Time to put a lot of work in. Just get ready to come back and win.
Steph, I know what a competitor you are. How soon do you start thinking about, okay, let's start thinking about next year?
Tomorrow.
I knew it. You could have held hands with that. I knew it.
See, this is what happens. When you're on the same wavelength, good things happen.
I knew it.
What's that mindset like you both have? And why are you already like, okay, that's happened, we're on to the next?
It's because you can't hold on to it. I mean, you just look at it, and obviously we're going to be watching the championship games, and that's going to be the feeling that we want to be in that next year. And that's going to be the mindset. Is already prepping. I told you, we're ready to go.
And we're competitors.
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, this makes you hungry for more.
There's no moral victories. I know what you guys were in it to win it, but I mean, what can you say about what this team did, not only tonight, but throughout this season?
You can say a lot of stuff about us, but I don't think you can ever say we gave up or we stopped fighting. We went through 16 players. We went to overtime tonight, obviously. Seeing Kels go down was hard. AB fouling out was tough. But we tried to stick together and push as hard as we could. Obviously, we felt we came up short. But I'm so proud of my teammates, my coaches, of course, everyone, all the Fever believers out there. It's been a hell of a ride, and I wouldn't trade it. Like, we went through so much, but and did so much behind the scenes too. But I'm just really proud of everybody in the locker room, and yeah.
Have you been a part of a game like that? Like, how was that? It feels like you guys have been resilient all year, but it feels like that's not big enough of a word for tonight.
Wait, can you say your question again?
Yeah,
Sorry.
just have you been a part of a game like that?
I mean, I played Game 5 in Vegas on the road to get to the finals. It's obviously a really tough atmosphere. They have 5 Olympians, obviously. Becky's a phenomenal coach, and they have all their pieces together. And it was a tough one.
How did you guys rally after Kelsey went down, especially because it was sure like almost like a repeat of what had happened?
Yeah, I mean, we already did it like 6 times already, so what's the 7th time, honestly? So I guess we were prepared for it because it happened to us so many times already this season.
What was Kelsey's impact on the team this year?
I mean, we would be nowhere without her. She was one of the best players in the league, MVP candidate, and she's just such a great person. Obviously, people say, I mean, she plays such a great game, such a great ISO player, shooter, 3-way scorer. But what I'm also most impressed about Kelsey is the type of person she is, like the way she carries herself, the way she's always willing to lend a helping hand. She's so apologetic. She's just such a phenomenal, it's such a great basketball player she is. She's a 10 times better human. So I was really happy to share the court with her this year and just get to know her. And I'm proud to call her my friend.
You guys, obviously, as players, have gotten to see Stephanie do her thing firsthand. Is there an appreciation with what she was able to do, changing lineups and dealing with all of this?
Yeah, I mean, look at our starting day roster to now. That takes so much adjustment. Obviously, in free agency, they put a team together they think is going to last the whole entire summer, and obviously that wasn't the case. But I think they did a great job of putting us in a position to be successful. Like, I mean, we took Vegas to Game 5 OT, and people thought we wouldn't even make it past the first round. Some people think we wouldn't make playoffs. So that kind of speaks to the fortitude of Steph and her coaching staff, and just being able to adjust on the fly like that.
What kind of statement do you feel like this team made with its resilience all season long, but in a game like tonight, like as a microcosm of that?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I probably hate the word resilience. I've heard that word so many times this season. But I think that just speaks to like the Fever culture and just obviously like our team's in the spotlight a lot and stuff, but I think a lot goes on behind the scenes, and we're able to like tune out the noise. And Steph said something this morning like drown the noise and like feed the inspiration or something. I don't know. She always has little tidbits to say. But I think just us staying together was a big part of how we were able to be as successful as we were.
You in particular and this team had left it out on the floor each and every night. No doubt you did it again tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think that's something we can take away from this season. Obviously, ending on a loss is hard and not what you want, but I do think that we can be proud of the effort we put out there, especially in the fourth quarter, you know, losing Aliyah, losing Kelsey. I don't even know if that was the third or fourth quarter. But 2 of our biggest stars go down, and we continue to fight and send it to overtime. So I think that's, you know, we're proud of ourselves. We're proud of that fight, and it's just sad to see this group be done.
Coach was saying that someday she hopes the story of this season is told, and I'm sure even behind those walls, it's even more incredible than we know.
For sure, there's lifelong bonds built there. It's sad. Yeah, it's memories this team will cherish forever. The coaches talk about it, the vets that are on the team talk about it, that you don't get this bond, this tightness, these friendships on every team in pro sports. That's not normal, and for us to be able to build that this season is something that's very special.
What will you remember this team for most?
Our love for each other, our fight for each other. I mean, every single possession, every single day, regardless of what was thrown at us, we stood together and we attacked every situation together and we loved on each other. And I think that's what, I mean, just that feeling of togetherness, I think that's the biggest thing that we'll take away.
How much did this continue to build that foundation for what the Fever can be next year, the year after, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we have a lot of the same players back. You know, it's pro sports is another weird one where every season is different, teams look different, but I think every new player we had this season came into the locker room and felt that connectedness and added to it. So we were really lucky that we had built such a great culture here, and that'll continue year after year.
We talked about resiliency all year with you, but have you been a part of a team who's consistently had to overcome until the final minutes of the final game of the season?
I mean, yeah. I would say in college, during the COVID year, that was one of the hardest years playing basketball, a million things going on in the world, and staying together and being resilient on the court, whether that was, you know, having positive tests or not being able to practice in our home gym. There were so many things. So I would say, like, I personally have been through that before, but it's going to look different on every team with every group of people. And just so proud of this group for staying together.
Lexie, you guys huddled up right after the final buzzer, right by center court. What was that moment like for you?
Hey, you know, it's sad. I think, especially when you push the game to overtime and you fight for so long, your expectations are to win, obviously. And so to lose is sad, but I think arm in arm, all of us together, we can look at each other and be proud of each other. So it's a moment of love for sure.
Do you feel like this game, between the adversity but also the resilience, was just like a microcosm of this whole season? And did that, in a way, like, you were like, oh, we've been here before?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Steph said in the huddle. Like, we're built for this moment. When Kelsey went down, and then we're challenging the call on AB. We've been here before, so it's just so unlucky, so crazy that had to happen tonight, and just for us to be able to continue to bounce back and still fight and still, you know, close out a game that Aces, it's a great team. And for us to be able to put out the performance we did tonight and send it to overtime, that's something to be proud of.
When you were going out on the floor for overtime, I mean, Kelsey's not there, AB's not there. Obviously, all the players that were hurt earlier in the season aren't there. I mean, what's going through your mind in that moment when you're looking like we're still in this?
We can win. This is a 0-0 game, 5 minutes. We do those situations in practice. I mean, it took everyone. I mean, O had an incredible night tonight. People just stepped up, and I think, you know, when we were starting that overtime, we everyone on the bench, playing or not, we believed we were going to win that game. So I think that just goes to show you that we believe in each other and in ourselves, and yeah, and I'm just so proud of this group.
Lex, how impressive of a job did Stephanie do as coach with all the moving parts throughout the season?
I mean, incredible. Simply incredible. Be so easy to give up and say, we're just gonna take this year, you know, we're gonna be a building year, we're gonna get better, set ourselves up for a good season next year. She came at us and challenged us to continue to fight. So not every coach could do that, and not every coach could motivate a group to do that. And so just really special coach, really special person, and grateful to be able to learn from her. Thank you.
Thanks, Lex.